Hey, hey. So I've been thinking a lot lately about something that I think so many of us struggle with. And that's the idea of forgiving ourselves. Like, why is it so difficult for us to let go of the things that we've done wrong or the mistakes we've made? I mean, think about it. Like, how many times have you replayed something in your head over and over that you've done? Either, hurting someone or doing something you're ashamed of and just like wishing that you could go back and change it. Or maybe, like most people, you've just been carrying this guilt and this shame with you forever, and it's just holding you back from truly becoming your best self, from truly becoming the best version of yourself, because you're carrying this weight of something that you did 10, 20 years ago. Like, why do we have such a problem with forgiving ourselves, with looking at it? Like, we're so quick to give other people grace in a lot of instances, but when it comes to us, we don't allow ourselves that same grace. So today, I want to talk about forgiving yourself, really forgiving yourself, digging deep, getting down in there and getting that shit out of you, because you deserve it. You deserve to not have to carry the weight of your mistakes from the decisions that you made when you didn't have all the information, or when you weren't as knowledgeable or as mature as you are now. Because if you look back at your life or at anyone's life, we're all just doing the best that we can with the knowledge that we have in that season of life. And so you can't judge yourself from what you did a long time ago when now you have new information. Because if you had the information that you have now, then you wouldn't have done it. So you got to give yourself grace for being where you were at that time and stop carrying it with you. Because here's the thing, you're not defined by your past. And I'm going to show you how you can start fresh, even if it feels impossible. Sound good? All right, let's get started. Okay, first things first. Forgiving yourself is not about pretending what happened didn't matter or that it didn't hurt. It's about acknowledging it, learning from it, and then letting go. But here's the problem. Like, a lot of us get stuck in this cycle of just self-blame. We just blame ourselves and beat ourselves up. It's just like we're constantly punishing ourselves over and over and over. And that's exhausting. It's like you're carrying around this weight everywhere that you go. So how do you put the weight down? How do you finally let go of the guilt and the shame and start moving forward? So I got a few steps that helped me in my journey, and maybe they'll help you too. Step one, you have to acknowledge the mistake, right? So really look at it. Don't run from it. Don't sugarcoat it. Just really look at it and just say, yep, I f***ed up. And here's the key. You got to do it without judgment of yourself. You just have to look at it from a 30,000 foot view as an incident that happened or as something you did, and just take ownership of it. Like, yeah, I messed up. And understand that you are not a bad person because you made a mistake. To err is human. Step two, what you need to do is you need to separate the action or the thing that you did from your identity. It's not who you are. This is a big one. Just because you did something wrong doesn't mean that you are wrong. You're not your mistakes. You're not your past. You're the person that's here now that's trying to learn and grow from those mistakes. And look, my personal belief on life is there are no coincidences. So if you happen to come across this video and it's about forgiving yourself and it strikes a chord with you, there are no coincidences in life. You're supposed to be sitting here right now watching this video, and this is your cue that, look, it's time to forgive yourself. It's time to let go and move on. Now, step three is you need to learn and to grow from your mistakes. You need to ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? What did I learn from it? And how can I use that to better myself moving forward? How can I use that experience to be more conscious and not make that same mistake moving forward? Maybe it taught you to set better boundaries. Maybe it taught you to be more patient or to trust your gut Whatever it is, take a look at it and learn those lessons. Step 4, and this is a big one, and this is probably the most difficult one, but you need to release that guilt that you feel. You know, for somebody that's watching this video, the last thing that you said to somebody that you loved was a hurtful word, and that was the last thing that you got to say to them. Understand that that isn't who you are. That was a moment in time, and you have to forgive yourself. You have to let go of that moment in time. The person that you said it to, that you don't have the opportunity to apologize to, they would want you to let it go. It's time to let it go and to move forward, because you're just punishing yourself over and over and over because of one mistake that you made, or one word or sentence that was said in anger or resentment or rage. But that's not who you are. That was one moment in the totality of your life. Now, you've made it this huge moment because it was someone you loved and you said something very mean, and you've never been given the opportunity to apologize to them. And I'm sorry, that sucks, but you have the opportunity every day to apologize and to make amends with yourself. And you know, releasing the guilt, this is the powerful part of it. And it can be very difficult, and oftentimes you just need to do something symbolic. Maybe write that person a letter expressing how you feel, that you're so sorry that you spoke to them that way, that you've carried this shame and this guilt for so long, but now you're releasing it because you have to move forward with your life without carrying this baggage that you've carried for decades. And in the same vein, you need to write a letter to yourself, forgiving yourself. Just, you know who you really are. Don't make your identity this one moment in time where you made a mistake. You know who you are in your heart. You know how people really feel about you. Forgive yourself. Write yourself a letter and express everything. Just get it all out on that piece of paper. And when you do that, read it and burn it. And just get it out. Release everything that's inside of you so that you can move forward. Or just say out loud, I choose to forgive myself because this event, this memory no longer serves me. And it might feel weird to, speak to yourself and say, I forgive myself. It might feel weird to write yourself a letter, but it's time for you to let it go. It's time for you to release the baggage that has held you down, that has held you back, that has prevented you, both consciously and subconsciously, from achieving everything that you can achieve, from achieving the potential that is still waiting on you. This is holding you down. This is holding you back. And finally, step 5, you need to rewrite your story. Instead of focusing on who you were, what you did, focus on who you are now and who you're becoming. Every day is a new day for you to start fresh and to step into that person that you want to ultimately become. So ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to create for yourself? Start there and act in accordance with who you want to be. Now look, I know this isn't easy. It might be one of the hardest things that you've ever had to do, because so often in our lives, those events that we carry, they become our identity. So who are you going to become if you're no longer the person that said something mean to someone and then they passed away the next day? Because you've carried that as your identity for years. So who are you going to be now that you don't have that story, that emotional attachment to that story? And the truth is, you get to be whoever you want to be. And life is going to become much easier. Life is going to become much lighter. But you've got to let it go. You've got to forgive yourself. But you have to understand that you deserve it. You deserve to live a happy and fulfilled life. You deserve to leave the baggage of your past in the past. You deserve to reach your full potential and experience joy and experience ease and experience happiness. You deserve that. We all deserve that. But you've got to let go of the things that you've done in the past that you're carrying with you. So here's my challenge to you. Think about one thing that you're ready to forgive yourself for. Just one thing. Write it down. Say it out loud. Or you can even share it down below in the comments. If you know somebody that you can tell is just struggling with forgiving themselves or struggling with these past events and are just carrying it, send this video to them. There's also no coincidence that you found it and somebody that you love is just still struggling and holding on to these past events. Now, for some people, it's so deep rooted in them, they don't know how to forgive. They don't know how to let it go, because if they did, they would no longer have an identity. And that's a whole other topic of conversation. But if you're watching this and you feel led to start forgiving yourself for things that you've carried for so long, even things that people make you feel guilty about, you can't change the past. You can't change what you've done in the past. It's up to somebody else to forgive you. But it's up to you to forgive yourself for what happened. And people have such a difficult time forgiving themselves, and it boggles my mind, because it's something that can set you free. You just have to be willing and open to do it. Be willing and open to let go of the past and the hurts and the shames and the guilts, and be willing to move forward. It's going to open up a whole new life for you. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we wish we wouldn't have done. We've all acted selfishly. We've all acted without considering the feelings of someone else. But you can't continue to carry that with you, because you can't change the past, and you're not doing yourself or anybody else any favors by continuously just carrying and harboring that shame and guilt. It's not a competition of who can feel the worst, of who can play the victim the most. We've all got the power to forgive ourselves. The sooner you start doing that, the sooner you step into it, the better your life's going to get. All right, that's all I got. Be easy on yourself today. Go out there, make it a great day. And just remember, you're doing better than you think you are. You're always doing better than you think you are. Just be careful what you have your identity in. Don't put your identity in the negative events that you've done in the past. It's not going to serve you. It doesn't serve anybody. Your best act of service is to become the best version of yourself. And one of the key ways to doing that is learning how to forgive yourself. It's important. That's all I got. Have a great day.